The traction certainly has. In 1986, it seems that half the English population wants to see the interaction of brain and muscle. Yes, Wembley Stadium's the only place in England that could even contemplate staging the latest onslaught of American football. Tickets for the Cowboys against the Bears went on sale in the spring, up to £20 a head, and they went in hours. And it says a lot for the fever around American football at the moment, that despite the torrential rain all day, there's hardly a seat to be had. But the game really is only the climax of an extraordinary week in the lives of the Bears and the Cowboys, a week in which we found out quite a lot more about what makes these extraordinary macho men move so fast and so hard. The initial reaction to England can hardly have been favourable. The Bears, the first to arrive at Heathrow, were delayed an hour as the customs men searched all 400 pieces of luggage for drugs. After a 9-hour flight, it's all you need. And then the questions began.
What kind of reaction are you expecting from England fans?
The Bears quarterback, Jim McMahon, a millionaire anti-hero who, whether it's Chicago, New Orleans or London, goes his own way in life. And behind that scrum is the 23-stone bulk belonging to William Perry, the fridge, the status symbol for every overweight American. Everywhere he draws a crowd, with people's mouths wide open.
It might be a madhouse, it might be like a Super Bowl. I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping just get in and have a free time and everything from Platteville and just play a good game.
Think you're going to be able to walk around London like a free man?
I hope so.
And there's another $1 million a year man, Walter Payton. Now Walter doesn't get as much publicity as the fridge, but he too likes a certain kind of lifestyle.
They're leaving or they're leaving?
They're gone.
So when they told him that his room at the Intercontinental wasn't going to be ready for a couple of hours and that the team were going on a lengthy bus tour of London, well, Walter wasn't too impressed. So he got conveniently lost while the 5 team buses left, and then arranged for he and his entourage to go their own way into town.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down.
Back in town, the Intercontinental staff had the task of sorting out that mass of luggage. And the players, well, despite the 4,000-mile flight and the 6-hour time difference, the schedule said team run in Hyde Park and a chance to loosen up. The following day was set aside for the media. The thirst for knowledge that's built up over here is immense. Inevitably, a prime target for the instant quote is Jim McMahon, opinionated yet thoughtful, rebellious yet a team man. And as he proved in the Super Bowl, an extraordinary talent, a wickedly accurate arm, and the guts to go it alone.
Disguise McMahon rolls in a somersault 6, and the Bears lead 29-3.
When you were told you were coming over here, what was your first reaction?
Well, I would have liked to come over without having to play a football game. You know, what I didn't or don't like about the trip is it adds another game to our preseason, which is you know, not a whole lot of fun. I mean, preseason games are, you know, they're a necessity. I think mostly for the younger players, get a look at young guys and see what they can do. But for the guys that have been around for a little while, it's, you know, it gets old. They just want to get to the season and get to the games that count. So, you know, guys don't want to get hurt in the preseason games, and to have an extra one, it's not a whole lot of fun. The season's long enough.
You've been quoted as saying the game is sick. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, it is. You know, you just see a bunch of bodies just mashing one another, and you know, it's just pretty barbaric game, but it's fun. I mean, I enjoy it. It's something I've played for a long time, and it's hopefully I can continue to play it.
But amidst that, you're a bit of an artist. The quarterback has to be a bit of an artist, doesn't he?
I think we're all artists. You know, any type of when you're in a setting like this, you know, you're entertainers. We're in the entertainment field, and without the fun and the personalities, nobody really want to come watch. I think if everybody was like robots and clones, nobody would have any interest in the game. But since there are a lot of personalities, not only on this team but around the league, that's what brings fans out, and that's what makes it fun.
Your reputation preceded you over here as an eccentric. Are you an eccentric, or is that a media hype?
That's media hype. You know, I'm a pretty normal person, I think. But, you know, that normal people don't sell newspapers and make TV news. So, got to do something. You know, most people outside of football don't know me as a person, and but they write about me as a person. That's what I don't like. You know, they write about, you know, things they see in the media and stuff like that. And you know, I have fun with media. You know, I tell them things, I joke with them, and tell them stories, and they take me seriously too much. You know, I don't take myself serious, so I don't know how anybody else can.
McMahon's playmaking counterpart at the Cowboys, Danny White, is less flippant. At 34, he's coming to the end of an 11-year career that's brought him fame and wealth, but has done untold harm to his body. Last year alone, he had a bruised shoulder, a sprained wrist, bruised ribs, a sprained neck, and concussion. And when he has to take tackles like that, it's hardly surprising.
Down hard, Dexter Manley was the man who hit him, and White is still down and hurting.
Despite the knocks, White revels in the limelight his position brings, although it does also attract unique problems.
The quarterback can't be affected very much by emotion, and that's the real difference. Every other position on the team, especially in the line, they thrive on emotion. They thrive on the adrenaline and the physicalness of the game. As a quarterback, if you get uptight and you get tense and you get this adrenaline pumping, there's really nothing to do with it. You can't go out and hit somebody and take it out on another player. You have to keep your cool. You have to concentrate. You have to think. It's a game played in the mind, as far as the quarterback is concerned, and that's 90% of the game for the quarterback. The physical part of it is important also, but not nearly as important as the mental part.
How do you keep cool then when there's 80,000 fans roaring you on, or hope you're going to duff pass, and there's the lineman coming in?
Well, I guess you don't. I guess you don't remain cool as much as you appear to remain cool. Quarterbacks get very anxious and get very nervous. The important thing is that you don't let anybody else know that you're nervous. And I guess that comes from experience.
Has it amazed you, though, what you've achieved and the money that you've earned? Do you think, in a way, it's false pretenses, or are you worth everything that's happened?
Well, I'd like to think so. I'd like to think I've earned what I've gotten, that it's come through hard work and a lot of study and a lot of dedication to the game. There are people in the sport, and you see them every day, who make a great deal of money and get a great deal of attention for doing very little. I've always believed and always will believe that you pay your dues in life, as in sport, sooner or later. Some people get their rewards early in life, but sooner or later they're going to pay for it. They're going to pay their dues, and they're going to have to pay the price for that success. And I feel like I've paid it as I've gone along, and that's the way I would prefer it. So yes, I feel like I'm worth what I've earned, and you know, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of football players who start out in high school with the ambition of becoming professional football players, and only a very, very small percentage of them ever make it. So it takes a lot of work, and you've got to find some sort of an edge that sets you apart from everybody else.
Is it the right ones who always make it, though? Is there a
No.
Danny White somewhere along the line who's just been unlucky? Because you have
Sure,
1 year
sure.
and you're out.
And luck is a part of it. Luck is a big part of it. Getting the right kind of breaks, having the right kind of opportunities come along at the same time, at the right time. I've had many of those. There have been 2 or 3 instances, especially in my college career. I went to college to play baseball. I was on a baseball scholarship. And I just tried out for the football team, basically as a punter. And there were a couple of things that happened to me in college that had they not happened, and had they not happened when they happened, I'd still be playing baseball today, I'm sure, or something else, doing something else. But they did happen, and I was fortunate, and I guess you could say I took advantage of those opportunities, but the main thing was that I had them. I had the opportunity.
From opposite teams.
Yeah, well, it's a game, but you know, it's also our job. And when you're out there on the field, if Al's across from me, my job is to block him. I have to do it. You do it every day to your teammates in practice, and it's not a personal thing. You know, I just try to do my job the best I can, and Al tries to do his job the best he can. And most of the time, he does his better than mine.
I don't know about that. He's been in the Pro Bowl. I haven't yet. That does something.
Well, we've spent the last 4 years learning their game, so we thought we'd turn the tables. Surrey were playing Nottinghamshire in the NatWest Trophy on Wednesday, so I took 4 Bears along to see it. Tom Thayer and Steve Fuller in the front, Al Harris and Tim Reitman at the back.
You don't expect playing a hard sport dressed up so nice. I mean, they look like they could go out after this and look sharp, you know. I mean, they go out to the bars after this. Wear that sweater? Yeah, I like that sweater. I like. Give me one of those. Do these guys get paid? They're considered professional?
Yeah, they're not quite in your league, though.
No, they're probably in my league. They're probably not in these guys' league. Is the ball hard?
It is hard.
Oh.
Okay, what happened is, he's out LBW, which is leg before wicket. Basically what happened is, the ball hit his leg with a pad on it, and if it hadn't hit the leg, it would have hit the wicket. Okay. And because he didn't get his bat on it, he is out.
Oh.
Leg before wicket.
Where's the coaches at?
Coach is sitting up in that pavilion.
Oh, really? Oh, so they just sit and observe from there.
Yes, there's no communication as in your game.
Wouldn't that be nice, Tom?
Yeah.
To come out the field and that would be nice. You know that you are not going to get yelled at after you mess up. Not, at least not until the next day.
They're up there.
They hit a leg before.
Yeah, that's what they're going for. Very good, yes. That's what they're going for there. But it was not out. The umpire, right, the guy with the coat on, he said it wouldn't have hit the wicket. Not out.
I thought that was the team doctor. Handmade. What's this made out of? What kind of wood?
Willow wood.
Willow wood? Like out of the willow trees? No kidding. I mean, you know, it could be different than it could be different here than in America. Come on now. Yeah, it's flat.
want me to give that to Coach Stanfield? He could use it on you offensive linemen?
Yeah. It'd be good to whack a defensive lineman. Right in the head.
Oh, that's Merlin. Is that Merlin Olsen right there?
Yeah. Counterbalance. Man, these things are big.
It's a lot bigger than a baseball bat.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, it's just, it wouldn't be easy to hit, I'll tell you that. The score is 37 after 2?
After 37 for 2.
37.
And they've had 12 overs. Right, it's a 60-over game.
Okay.
All right, so they'll be playing this until around 8 o'clock tonight.
These same guys?
These same guys. They started at 11 this morning, and they'll be going through till 8 tonight.
Wow.
Endurance test.
I'm telling you, that's ridiculous. That's something. It's like a...
Good thing they didn't fly as long as we did.
I love it.
Boom.
Are all cricket natural grass? Do they have any AstroTurf ones? No.
Okay, I got it. Let's play.
No. Chicago, where these boys are followed wherever they go. In fact, 4 Chicago TV stations have flown crews across here. The Chicago Sun-Times has 4 reporters here, and the WLS Morning Show is coming direct from the Chicago Pizza Pie Factory in London's Hanover Square.
Quick one. We were talking about the fridge yesterday with a taxi driver who took us over to Chinatown. He was wondering why they call him the fridge. We said, well, he's big, he's kind of square looking, and he's black. And the guy said, he looks more like a taxi than...
Yes, the fridge's novelty factor has captured, if not the nation's, then certainly Fleet Street's imagination. The tabloid papers have all had features on him, all remarking on his size. And William Perry, well, he'd rather they hadn't. Is it nice to get away from the States where you're recognised everywhere you go, although I suppose here now?
Yeah, so it's all over here, so it's anywhere you go now.
Do you feel the pressure off, though, when you cross the Atlantic?
There's no pressure on me nowhere, so I don't worry about it.
Do you get nervous before games now?
No, not at all. Squad and play.
No sense of having achieved the ultimate, having got the Super Bowl, that there's no more mountains to climb?
Oh yes, I do it all over again. Have more fun doing it.
Do you enjoy it?
Yes.
What do you enjoy most about it?
I just playing the Super Bowl overall, and just winning the whole thing.
Do you enjoy the sort of physical contact of it? Is that pleasing?
No, it's nice. That's what you're out here for.
Have you ever been intimidated yourself?
No, not at all.
Do you enjoy intimidating other people?
They get intimidated.
Well, if the fridge finds the attention of battle, Walter Payton, the Bears running back, just thrives on it. His nickname is Sweetness, and he spreads a little bit around wherever he goes. His reputation is built on fact. Now in his 12th year as the Bears running back, he's rushed for more yards than anyone in the history of the game. When you watch Payton in action, you know he's one of the world's greatest athletes in any sport. Now at 34, does he look forward to each game with equal eagerness?
Well, I approach each one with the same enthusiasm and the childlike nature of the game, and this one is no different.
How do you do that?
I guess it's more mental control, and because the way I look at it, the way you think is the way you are, and you're able to overcome any obstacles if you only believe in it.
Do you set yourself goals each season?
I have to. I set a lot of goals, and one is one that I always try to accomplish is to do better than I did the previous year. And if that means one more yard, one more block, or one less mistake, then I've accomplished.
Are you playing better now than at any stage in your career?
I think I'm playing smarter now, and we have a cast of other players that are playing well also that compliments me and I compliment them, and that's a key thing. As long as you have that blend, things are a lot easier.
Are you worth the money you get paid?
I think if I had to answer that question, the way I feel and what I think I'm worth, they could even pay me. Because I have a high standard of myself.
Sure.
And I hope everybody else does. So if you want to know if that's true or not, it's hard to say.
Well, play well, and it's been good having you here.
Well, thank you. I've had a great time. Haven't seen the Queen yet.
Maybe Sunday.
Okay.
With Walter Payton, anything's possible. False modesty, as you can tell, is not his problem. The man who has the task of controlling the egos of all the Bears is head coach Mike Ditka, now beginning his 5th year in charge, and whose running style shows the result of 12 years as a player. Ditka was a player and offensive coach at the Cowboys under Tom Landry, 62 years old, a legendary figure in American football, after 26 years the longest-serving head coach. He has a strong regard for his protege.
Mike is a tremendous person. We were just delighted to bring him in. When he came with us, he was kind of through as a player. And we kind of reconditioned him, and he played several years with us, actually called a touchdown our first Super Bowl win against Miami. And then I chose him as a coach, and I didn't know for sure whether he was going to be a good coach. But I liked a lot of things I saw him, because he was a great competitor.
Was he fiery in those days?
Yeah, fiery. Just like he is today, not quite as bad now as he used to be.
What did you learn from Tom Landry?
I learned everything. Everything I know, I learned from Coach Landry, basically, and then I've tried to broaden my horizons by doing things on my own and changing things that I thought might be better. Some of it's worked, some of it hasn't worked. But basically, my basic philosophy is that of the Cowboys.
It seems to me that you may be treating this more as a competitive match than they are. They say they're going to play everybody who's fit. I gather that you might keep yours fairly strictly to the main squads.
Well, we don't have too many rookies right now, our first-year people. We have only probably about 15 on our squad right now. So the players that we play will be experienced players. They'll be our first and second team. And I think they'll stay pretty much with that, too. They'll inject their rookies in at times, but still, they want to win. They got pride. They're the Super Bowl champions.
We are going to play our starting team, too, the same team that started the Super Bowl. But it depends on how long we play them. And we might be flexible enough to change a little bit with Dallas, but I doubt that we will. Our main concern is to show the English people what the game of football is all about, the spirit of it, the sportsmanship of it, and we intend to do that. And I think when they see us play, they'll know what it's all about.
The core of the week for the entire staff has been practice. Only one session a day, but by any standards, tough. Its latest test as the Bears and the Cowboys went through their final manoeuvres before the big confrontation on the sacred Wembley turf. Watching in awe the British fans, now seeing their fantasy figures in the flesh for the first time. They were in clover. Amongst them, representatives of the Budweiser League, hoping to pick up a tip or two.
So just chat that boat.
He probably showed them up now, he does.
Yeah. With his legs. With some, oh yeah. Oh, tree trunks.
Oh, no. Big tree trunks.
We want to go and touch football.
Yeah, we're taking one. Them all in a game. Go and give him a badge.
You've got helmet on over the back there.
Oh, I see.
Right over the back.
What's it for a pass now?
Oh, be bad.
He's just throwing that ball there.
And here's a novel sight, a Chicago TV station interviewing a British-American footballer. Russell Wilsmer of the Streatham Olympians has been pestering the Bears for 2 years about becoming a kicker. And now he's just learned that he's going to kick off for the Bears in the big game. John Smith, remember himself, once a pro kicker, found out the full story.
I did some kicking for them in the week, and their coach and their director of personnel were looking at other players as well. And I got a phone call last night saying, would I phone him this morning? And phoned him this morning, he said, come down and do some kicking. And I really thought it was just training until they actually told me when I was here. But so long as I kicked off, or far enough at least, I could get a chance of playing.
So did they sign you to a contract at the end of this practice, or what's the story?
Well, they will, but it's really a one-off game. Just for here. I shan't be going back with them. But at the same time, fine press. You never know.
Well, I'll give you a little bit of advice, because the bread and butter in field goal kicking is from 20 yards to 40 yards. And if you can be 95% on those, you're going to get a job in the NFL. But between 40 and 50 yards, there's not that many of them.
That's right.
And there's a lot of kids can go out there and kick a long field goal and just blast it, because there's no pressure on you. The pressure is around 35 yards, 36 yards, and you know you've got to make it and you've got to win the game on it.
That's right.
So you've got to practice on that.
So Russell Wilsmer becomes a hero, if only for a day. But it hasn't just been the Brits taking it seriously.
But we're playing the Chicago Bears. We're playing the world champions. When we step on the football field, I know for a fact that the guys across the line are out to get me with everything they've got. There's no game involved. It's a life or death situation, basically. And that's the way it'll be Sunday.
Now look what you've done. Hold on, I'll get him. There aren't any sharks in here, are there? No.
Crocodiles ate all the sharks.
Australians wouldn't give a Castlemaine 4X for anything else.
Virgin's £9 million giveaway is breaking all records. That's 1,242,306 LPs and compact discs.
Or 483,330 miles of tape.
Or 730,519 hours of video.
Or 52,023 half-price flights.
So, if you don't shove at Virgin, you need your head examined.
Gillette is changing the face of shaving. First, we made it closer. Now we're making it smoother. Introducing Contour Plus with Lubristrip. It actually releases lubricants to glide the razor more smoothly. Smoothness like you've never felt before. New Contour Plus. First we made it closer, now we've made it smoother.
Cool, clean, and protect today's high-performance engines, Esso scientists have developed new Esso Superlube, a high-performance motor oil designed to cope with the stresses of today's high-performance petrol, diesel, and turbocharged engines. These are the cars, this is the oil. New Esso Superlube, the striped protector. Quality at work.
Our street of sound is the start of the day. It's the heat of the road, it's breaking away. A kiss, a glance, it is hot, it is cool. A smile, a chance, it is breaking a rule.
introduce themselves. And at the team meeting, I was made to stand up and introduce everyone. So it really made me feel welcome.
Did you ever feel that all this would come to you?
No, not really. I've been here a number of times, but never out here actually. It's really good.
So to the game, we pick it up with 5 minutes gone and Dallas have the ball, 2nd and 9 at their own 41-yard line, and your commentators Merlin Olsen and Dick Enberg.
Players put points on the board. They pick it up right where they left off last year. They've got a lot of black shirts out there on Tony Hill. Watch him as that ball just squirts free right there. He's trying to reach up. I think it was a foot. They got it. I think Reggie Phillips got it with his foot, knocked it out. And there's Duerson opportunely picking up that football and racing untouched into the end zone.
Kevin Butler, who led the NFL in scoring last year, to try the point after out of Steve Fuller's hold. To the light bulb splash as Butler nails one down the middle. That's like a free kick in their game of football. Duerson, the touchdown maker, and with 9 minutes and 34 seconds remaining in the first period, the Bears by 7. Here's a nice touch for this young man, Russell Wilsmer. He's 27 years of age, went to the College for Distributive Arts here in England. He plays in the Budweiser League, a league of some 72 American football teams, and the Bears signed Wilsmer yesterday, and now in front of 80,000 fans, he kicks off for the American Super Bowl champions. Duckett and Levette are deep for the Cowboys.
So the realization of Russell Wilsmer's dream. In fact, he kicked off 3 times for the Bears. We now move on to the end of the first quarter. 3rd and 8 Dallas at the Bears' 43-yard line.
Dorsett waved in motion by White. That's Hill open at the 30. And Tony Hill, first down at the 24. 20 more yards as the White passing game, and Dallas working well against Chicago's famed defense.
Well, and as you might expect, this crowd really responding to the long pass play. That's Mike Richardson that Tony Hill beat on that play. Richardson, fine athletic ability, at times loses his concentration a bit. Seemed to lose track of Tony Hill on that play.
And that's the end of the first quarter here at Wembley Stadium in London. What do you think of all this?
It's wonderful. I cannot believe the excitement of the fans over here in London.
Were you told that the British were a bit withdrawn?
We were. We thought they'd just be really, tea and crumpets all afternoon, and I can't believe it. It's wonderful. Absolutely.
Somewhere in that crowd in the standing room section is an Irishman, Paul McGuire, with an NBC uniform. we'll try to find him for you after this play.
Hold up your hand, Paul.
Reminds you of Cleveland Stadium, doesn't it? The
feeling of it, yes.
Impressive drive by the Cowboys that started back at their own 7. Now a first down inside the Bear 25. White over the middle. Oh, and hit hard, and Renfro topped by Singletary and still has the presence to gather the ball.
A great concentration by Mike Renfro as he is just leveled by Singletary, knocked to the ground. The ball popped free. And Renfro, with that great concentration, never lost sight of it, just reaches out and scoops it. Watch the play here. Danny White has time to throw that football. Perfect pattern. Look at that hit. Oh, and the ball bouncing up there. He simply picked it up. Well, even when he's halfway unconscious, he doesn't lose track of the football.
Had a great year, as you see, last year with 60 catches. His dad, a great player, wide receiver with the Cleveland Browns, Ray Renfro, and a former Dallas assistant coach. In fact, Mike was a ball boy in his youth for the Dallas Cowboys. First down. This Dallas drive impressively continues now on the ground to Dorsett.